Rashad, why you
Anyway,
didn't hit me up?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother.
Trump lit.
What's up,
Any-
Rashad?
Yeah.
What it do, boy?
We walking around the world.
Baby. My name is Rashad Milligan if you are new to the channel. This is the road to 10K subs, man. We'll get right into it. I won't waste your time. So as you guys see, first things first, man. Angel Reese ain't writing back. Angel Reese is continuing her entire kind of just put some respect on my name tour and things of that sort. And so that's what she did today. I believe she had what did she have at halftime? She had it was something crazy. Hold on, I posted about it. But she had at halftime, Angel had 15. She had 15 and 9 at halftime, bro. She had 15 points and 9 rebounds, just dominant. Doing it from all levels of the court, bringing the ball up. Of course, point forward was something that we saw that, obviously Coach Tyler Marsh was going to put her in the action. She was going to put her in the preseason and things of that sort. But, it's kind of something they shied away a little bit from because she struggled with it at the beginning of the regular season. But now she's really starting to come along. Feels like they found the actions to get her the ball at. And she credited Rival for that, to get back in that point forward mode, as opposed to the post up role that she was playing as a rookie and things of that sort. But get her kind of coming down on that wing in transition, get her the ball, maybe on a curl, maybe on a handoff, and then kind of get her going downhill, get her a little momentum. And from there, she can do an array of things. She can either drive all the way to the basket. She can kind of, hesitate. What we see a lot, what she's doing right now is hesitating at the mid range. And she can either, hit you with that midi pull up, side step at the mid range, or she can go hezzy and then keep going. The hezzy freezes you, and then now she has the advantage going to the basket. So, we just seen all of these things from her. She's really in her bag offensively. Defensively, you already know what she brings to the table. One of the better defenders in the league, always has been. And the rebounds, bro. Generational rebounding, but you pair that with the offense that you saw a lot her rookie season, but the way she's scoring now is a lot of the stuff that we saw from her in high school and at LSU, kind of running that once again point forward role and things of that sort is what she grew up playing. And you can tell she's much more comfortable in that role as an undersized big, because she is undersized at the end of the day. It says B, what happening? But that's just something that I'm seeing from her game. I love to see it. And I think it's not only great for her, but it's great advertisement for the Unrivaled League and things of that sort for her to, hey, Biggs, if you want to work on your versatility in your game and transition basketball, this is the perfect league to do that. 3-on-3 basketball, you're forced to run. You're forced to exercise those other skills and parts of your game. Alyssa Peely was cut after this game, and Mark Schindler, he said something like teams have to cut the cap, so they had to because of a deadline and things of that sort that's coming up. Hold on, let me pull up the exact tweet from Mark himself. Shout out to Mark Schindler, by the way. Someone please hire that man. He is the best, literally the best. He is that guy. And I hope he gets hired soon somewhere. But he said all contracts in the league are guaranteed for the rest of the season tomorrow, just before the midpoint of the season. Assume we see a few teams make similar moves today to keep as much flexibility as possible to make moves for the rest of the season, so they're not hard cap. So there it is. Today is the last day before the middle of the season. So you have to kind of, if you're going to make your cuts, you got to make them right now. The human aspect sucks no matter how you slice it. Getting wave isn't fun. Hopefully for Alyssa, she finds her footing in the future and keeps expanding her game as the league does the same. And, Alyssa, she was playing in Athletes Unlimited, the other offseason league and stuff like that. I was a fan of hers coming out of college at Utah. I just really liked her game and stuff like that. So It'll be interesting to see where she sticks. She didn't get much playing time as a rookie last season, and I guess this season has been something of a similar story. But she can ball, she can hoop, as everybody knows who watches her. So, best of luck to her. We look here. Fee got abused defensively by Angel Reese, but however, on offense, she still got hers 26, 8, and 5. That's just MVP type of stuff. And she's doing this on a consistent basis, night in and night out. You look at some of the other people that are in the MVP conversation, like Alicia Gray over in Atlanta, before Atlanta kind of went on the skid. And sometimes offensively, some nights, Leash, she is like, okay, is she taking the night out? It's a little more quiet for Leash offensively. And Fee is consistent 25, 26, 20 plus points offensively and things of that sort. And in the other marks of 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and things of that nature. Courtney Williams, 13, 8, and 8. Those kind of common stat lines are the reason why she was voted an all-star, in addition to being on the best team in the league right now. But best team in the league falls. Kayla McBride, she took a hard spill at the end of the game. She had 33 points. 17 points in 33 minutes. There was that. And then on the Chicago side of things, of course, Twin Towers, 17 and 15 for Camila Cardoso. She really took over in the second half, and Angel Reese had the first half. Once again, like I said, she had 15 and 9 going into halftime and ended up with 19 and 11 and 4. She's playing really well. Her confidence is at a really, really high. And, people just need to continue, just like 520 and Jeff Teague and all those, and Gilbert Arenas and all those talking heads who were being disrespectful to Angel Reese because they didn't watch the actual games. It's one thing if if you see the games and you see her shooting percentage and you see where she's shooting from the floor and you're like, okay, she's not shooting well. She's not that good offensively. It's one thing if you say that. It's a whole nother thing if you just don't watch the games and you just look at the box score and you're like, oh, she's trash. And then you see the little low lights of her missing layups because fans of a certain, demographic or a certain person, Caitlin Clark fans on the other side are like, she's trash. She doesn't even deserve to be in the league. Meanwhile, Caitlin is the best player to ever touch a basketball. Like, because of that, people have drawn these lazy narratives on Angel. I'm like, I want you guys to watch the games because she did this for a elongated stretch of time. Her rookie season, she literally had the WNBA record for most consecutive double-doubles, and she was an all-star as a rookie. And people just was like, oh, no, is that? And I was like, that's not easy to do. What she accomplished her rookie season isn't easy to do. What are we talking about here? And then she would like do stuff as a celebrity, like go to the Wild and Out thing, do a photo shoot, start a podcast, and people were just like, man, what did they say? They were just like, oh, she's not interested in basketball. She doesn't care about basketball. She doesn't do this. And it's like, what are you talking about? The girl literally, she uploads her workouts. They don't go as viral as the other stuff of her looking cute or whatever on TikTok, on Instagram, whatever the case might be. But she posted. How in the world can you say this girl doesn't care about basketball? And then she starts off slow offensively. Defensively, she's still one of the better players. But, to see someone plays defense, you have to actually watch the games. Go figure. You have to actually watch the games to see someone plays defense, right? But people don't watch the games. They just run with the lazy narratives and watch the lowlights of her missing layups, and they're like, oh, she's trash. Okay, all right, whatever. And she gets off to a slow start offensively. And the offense finally picks up, and now it's crickets. It's crickets. It's crickets. Salute to Angel Reese. Big week for her, releasing her shoe, getting on the cover of NBA 2K26. Shout out to Angel Reese and just continuing to ball out. Her 15 point, 15 rebound streak ended this week, but it doesn't matter. Her double streak is still going. I believe it's probably at like 8 games now if we're starting at where her 15 point, 15 rebound streak started. If it started then we're at about 8 games in a row. And I think her record last season, I want to say, was about 14, 15 games. So, hey, a little bit after All-Star break, look for her to top what she did last season, her second season. So she's coming at them crazy. Ariel Atkins, you talk about scoring. That was the main thing that Chicago was missing at the beginning of the season. I said they needed Kennedy Carter to just come in and be a scorer. People were talking about the drama off the court. I was like, I don't care. Chicago's obviously missing a scorer. Going into the season, people asked me who's the scorer on the team. I said Ariel Atkins. And they said, oh, I don't know about Ariel. I said, she's an Olympian. She's an all-star. She should be the scorer for them this season. That was their big offseason acquisition from Unrivaled and everything like that. She should be the scorer. She hasn't really stepped up to the plate, to be honest, on a consistent basis. But this 27 points in 36 minutes is big. So shout out to Ariel Atkins. Banham, Big Mama, 12 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. That's what you need from your role players. Big E, Elizabeth Williams coming off the bench, 8 points, no rebounds. You need at least 1 rebound. I ain't gonna lie to you, Big E. And then the Twin Towers did what they had to do. Onion Rary, 7 rebounds, 4 points. She always shows up and gives effort and does what she needs to do, playing her role. So there's that. Tomorrow we have the big game of Indiana versus Dallas, the first matchup of a healthy Paige Beckers and a healthy Caitlin Clark. You guys know where I stand on that side of things. But in college, Caitlin got the best of her the last matchup in the Elite Eight. So, or that might have been the Final Four. I can't remember off top, but that might have been the Final Four. And we'll see. I think it was the Final Four. It was the Final Four. So we will see, because the Elite Eight was LSU. Elite Eight was LSU and Iowa. Iowa beat them. And then the Final Four was Iowa and UConn. And then they beat UConn with that controversial call on, who was it? I want to say the Seattle Storm guard set the screen. And, they call a moving screen right there. And Paige was getting the ball, and it was just chaos. So Iowa got the best. Caitlin Clark got the best of Paige last go around, but we'll see what happens this time. I'm very excited. Paige is really hitting her stride. Caitlin has been struggling all season, but especially since coming from injury, she really hasn't gotten a rhythm. So we'll see how that matchup goes. But that is the first game tomorrow. It will be on at 1 a.m. Eastern time, so 12 p.m. Central. And tune in, man. It's primetime television. Now I want to talk about the Summer League shout outs and things of that sort. Like I said, I was wrong about this kid, Young Hansen, bro. This Young Hansen kid, I was wrong about him. Going into draft night or after draft night, they say, who you think lost? And I said, oh, they got this, this Asian kid. And, I know they've been trying to make like a few, like just 7-foot Asian guys like work for a while now. Yan Jilian and they try to make Kai Soto a thing of like Kai Soto, the hot new thing in basketball and all of this sort. And none of those guys just panned out. Like none of them were Yao Ming. Yao Ming was special. Yao, you looked at the film, you knew it was a surefire thing. This kid, I was like, I don't know, man. It's just been this long kind of range of these kind of products of kids just haven't worked out. This dude looks like he's a star, bro. I'm not going to lie. And it looks like there's a chance that we could be talking about in a couple of years, a 2025 redraft where he's the number 1 pick. And, when you look at the Atlanta Hawks, everybody was celebrating, oh, the Hawks. Not only did they get a first-round pick who kind of slid in the draft and Asa Newell, but they also get another pick that could be a very good chance of being a lottery pick. You get in a stack draft where the top 3 are like generational talents. And, man, it's so good for us. And it's like, man, whole time they could have just stayed at 13 and got this kid. One thing about him, though, he's like another Jokic variant and things of that sort. When you think of the kid from Houston, Alperen Sengun, when you think about Derek Queen coming in now for New Orleans, obviously Joe Dumars hopes that he evolves into another baby Jokic. But this kid right here is another Jokic variant. He can dish the ball, pass the ball. His bounce passes in transition, like while players cut in, it's just like A1. It's on point every single time. One time tonight in the first half, because I went live after halftime. Jan, he made a pass to a player cut in the baseline, and the player had to stretch out a little bit and then to get it, but he got it, and then it was a layup and assist and everything. He was just saying, "Yo, I want you to cut harder," and he can't speak English. Maybe that's one of the reasons why he fell. also like his conditioning. He looked tired after dunking and running up and down the court a couple times. Have to get conditioning up. Obviously when you think about Yao Ming, one of the more talented players of his time, probably he would have been considered one of the greatest players of all time if he stayed healthy and things of that sort. But he wasn't healthy. Conditioning is huge with these 7-footers. You think about SSB said this kid is good. He's got higher potential than Şengün. I agree with that. But Şengün we never had to worry about. Şengün is not 7 feet. I think Şengün is like 6'10" or whatever. So we don't have to worry about Şengün constantly being hurt and stuff like that. When you look at kids like Wemby, right, over 7'5", and he moves the way that he moves and he does all the things he does. Another one, like you mentioned, Chet Holmgren, and then who else? Joel Embiid being 7'2". Like the thing with this unicorn era of basketball where 7+ foot guys are moving around and they're doing this and they're doing that. The problem with it is you're going to get hurt a lot because 7-footers ain't supposed to be moving like that. It's a reason why at the basis of basketball and old school basketball, 7-footers just doing this and that's it. Or Bowl, or or Manute Bowl, excuse me, God rest his soul, is standing out there and he's just standing out there stationary and shooting the 3 on the spot up. And it's not he gets the ball down on the block. He turns around, face up, back up to the 3-point line, shoots it, and then sprints back on defense. That just 7-footers don't really move like that. So that's the concern with this kid is his health, his conditioning, and we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, the English won't be much of a worry, I don't think, as long as he just knows like, help, I got you, side. That's all he needs to know. I got you, young. That's all he needs to know on the court. Everything else is just speaking the game of basketball, which he knows. Playmaking bigs are the new hit commodity, a hot commodity, 100%, SSB. But this kid, he falls right in line of that. And like I said, there is a great chance that we could be looking at this in a couple years in the 2025 redraft and like, dang, why didn't this kid go number 1? And if that's the case, it could look really bad for a few franchises. However, until the meantime, we just sit back, enjoy the basketball, enjoy the games and things of that sort. Remember in the mid-2010s, everybody wanted a backcourt or scoring shooting guard. Yeah. I remember but PG became very the guy too. Like when it was like Paul George existed and Kawhi Leonard just did what he did in 2014 for the Spurs. And I think that became like a thing that everybody wanted. And people still want that. Billups has a high IQ. Yeah, shouts out to Billups, man. Doing a great job. Shaq thought he coached the Detroit Pistons and then he got corrected on it and he acted like it wasn't a big deal. That's still like one of the standout moments for me last season of like, Shaq really thought Chauncey Billups coached the Pistons, and he was like, Chauncey's doing a great job. I was like, bro, what? Candace Parker called him out on it. Shout out Candace Parker. Candace Parker also called out Keyshawn Johnson when he interviewed her about, and he said that Angel Reese was from Louisiana. It's just little things like that I'm like, thank you, Candace Parker, for showing up and doing your job. Because these are like basic facts. Like it's some things that you don't know if you don't know how to pronounce Şengün or this kid like Young Hansen. Like if you don't know how to pronounce his name, like I might have just mispronounced it right there. Like, okay. But basic stuff like Chauncey Billups coaches the Portland Trailblazers, not the Detroit. You should know that stuff. But yeah. It'll be interesting to see what Portland can do, bro. They got the kid Shaden Sharp. They got Sharp. They just traded away homeboy Anthony and things of that sort. They still got Danny out there. Shouts out to my boy Danny and his people and everything. Keyshawn Johnson, he did a sit-down interview with Candace Parker and who was it? Cheryl Miller. So he's doing the sit-down interview and he asked them about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And Keyshawn, he says, obviously Caitlin's a fiery girl from Iowa, and then you have this fiery girl from Louisiana, and Angel Reese. And Candace Parker's like, I want to correct you. Angel Reese is from Baltimore. And he's like, oh, yeah. So that was it. But shout out to Candace Parker for getting folks right on that stuff. All right. What's the next thing? Ali Siddiq. All right, let's get into this Ali Siddiq thing, man. And this is a slippery slope, as you guys know, because when you post up people's stuff, dog, goes in the new Katt Williams goes in again on Ali Siddiq. This a year ago. Oh, this been going on. Hold on, I want to see this first.
I think the world want to know what happened between you and Ali Siddiq. I know you said
the
you
world
talk
couldn't
about
possibly want to know that. He's not famous enough for the world to want to know that.
I mean, what did Katt do to Ali? What did he do to you, man?
So let's go to the story. Let me speed it up. Shreveport. We in Shreveport. The song out is Every Day I'm Hustling. Who made that song? Every Day I'm Hustling.
It's Rick Ross.
Rick Ross.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So what year is that?
Shit, I don't remember.
Whatever that shit is. Remember. Okay. Yeah. So Every Day I'm Hustling was some anthem that he was coming out to. Like everybody come out to a song. And I want people to understand, I'm not saying Katt's not talented. I'm not saying I don't like Katt. I always was a fan of this little man. I'm talking about when he was Cat in the Hat. Because people act like he been. Most people got on the bandwagon after Friday After Next. Because before that, they can't remember a goddamn thing before Friday After Next. Because they didn't know him when he was Cat in the Hat. They didn't know him when he didn't have no teeth and shit. They didn't know, they wasn't watching him then. I was a fan when niggas wearing a top hat and had a cane. And his name was Katt in the Hat. It wasn't Katt Williams shit. So Friday After Next, the pimp shit happens. Cool. Always been cool. Back when I booked him and he faxed me his headshot, which is fucking crazy. Sharon Ball and tell anybody the nigga faxed the headshot to keep players off it. It was just a black, you know how fax come through, just black silhouette of his body. This dude named DJ Love plays the song. Katt's manager comes out hollering at him. DJ Love say, hey, my fault. Didn't know. I'm just playing. I'm the warm-up DJ. I'm just playing songs, getting the crowd in. Well, you don't know who you DJ for? He's like, no, I'm the warm-up DJ. I don't know. I'm just doing the show. And this is so early in the game. If he do come out there every day, I'm hustling. What the fuck? Doesn't matter. So she being a little pushy with him, and he's apologized several times. Now you like shitting on him. Now he kind of like, well, who the fuck is you talking to now? I've already apologized. I don't know what the fuck else you want. I'm not the DJ. I'm the warm-up DJ, and I'm leaving. I got to go do a club. So all this melee happens. Now,
so just for clarity, the DJ played the song prior to Katt coming out, and that's
prior to the show even starting. The show
prior
hadn't
to
even
the
started.
show even started.
It's the warm up,
and that's right. And that's what Katt comes out
to. That's his intro song.
Okay, Cardinal Sin.
You know what I'm saying? Not really designed. The song not really designed for him. Rick Ross don't know whoever made the song don't know this nigga playing this song.
Right.
You know so it's just a song. You know what I'm saying? So
also, I want to say this about Summer Lee. I forgot this. Jeremiah Fears. I like Jeremiah Fears, bro. I like his hunger. I like Jeremiah Fears' hunger. Okay, back to this.
You can pick another song because the song has nothing to do with your goddamn performance. So they in the back room. DJ Love is like, yo, man, y'all fucking talking reckless to me. I don't like it. So Katt comes out with this player shit and Joe's like, yo, dog, nigga, you get the fuck away from me with that bullshit. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I played the song, this stupid ass broad talking fucking crazy to me. Hey man, I apologize. What the fuck is up? Well, nigga, we can do what? We can do what, nigga? So I come and get Love. Baby standing there, 3 feet. I come slide and grab Love. I'm like, Love, They said, man, nah, niggas talking reckless, dog. I killed all them police right there. And he's like, man, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Didn't niggas know who I am? And it's a mild-mannered Katt. He's being offended.
And where are y'all? Like what city?
We in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay. Right.
Now, this shit happens. This over. Performance happens. Everybody go out. Katt rides back to the hotel with me to Island Capri. We talking about tattoos the whole way. Because my man Raphael do tattoos and I was going to get one before I left. Now, years go by. Now that's one. Me and Kicking in. Years go by. We at the Reliant Arena here. 2 shows. It's February. 2 shows, Thursday and Friday. I perform Thursday, Friday I perform. I come out to get this cat named Ghetto. I walk out to get this cat named Ghetto. You probably know Ghetto.
Yeah, I know Ghetto.
Ghetto will vouch for this story. Yeah. I walk out to get Ghetto. I turn back around. You know how the arena people look in the goddamn yellow shirts. All of them are locked arms standing in front of the door. I'm like, hey, let me slide through y'all. And the lady who was sitting in front of my door, she said, Ali, I can't let you back in the building. I said, what? Ali, I can't let you back in the building. I said, what? So they don't know what's going on. It's just been a sign. Don't let Ali Siddiq back in his building. Oh. Okay, cool. Katt's security at the time, the dude's name is Carl. Carl comes and he talking over the shoulders of the security people. I'm standing outside, me and Ghetto. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, Carl, what's up? He's like, man, Katt, I don't know what the fuck is up, man. Katt don't want you back in the building. I said, what? And he ain't say nothing. But I can see Katt and his wife were talking, like I can see them. And I'm like, fuck is up? So this nigga turned his back to me.
I think the world want to know what happened between you and Ali Siddiq. I know you said
the
you
world
talk
couldn't
about
possibly want to know that. He's not famous enough for the world to want to know that. But if you pick the actual king, then make sure that your story is correct. And unfortunately, his story is not correct. No matter what he says, he never met me. He made it disrespectful that a security guard that was 6'7" reached over him to pay him, not mentioning the fact that he got paid for not doing anything.
Well, let's start at the beginning of the Reliant thing.
I don't know if I want to.
I'm gonna start, and then
fair enough.
But I think for the sake of the audience knowing, just
tell them who Ali
Siddiq
is.
What we're talking about. Ali Siddiq is a comedian from Houston that's based in Houston. Yeah. Now, Ali said that he went to a Reliant arena and he was on the same show as you. He showed up, and the security stopped him from entering the building. And they said, and then somebody told him Katt didn't want you to come in. And then at some point, somebody else came and gave him a check. That's another security person reached over somebody's shoulder and gave him a check. He said that the people that were the working security locked arms to prevent him from walking inside of the building. And he thought that, you had a problem with him. And he said he didn't know why you had a problem with him. And to this day, he don't know why you have a problem with him. That was the
It'd be nice if that was the story. So now, if that's the story, then let me see if I got this correct. A guy I've never met was supposed to be doing a show with me. And I got so angry, even though I hadn't met him, that I had security keep him out of the building. See, that's the problem with lies. They're faulty from their inception, sir. I'm the person in the story that doesn't have a grudge to feel. I don't care why I didn't like Katt Williams. I would get to the bottom of it. This is not one of those stories. First of all, the actual truth of this matter is every city that I go to, I already have the comedians who are opening up for me. Not just this tour, but for the 17 100 city tours previous to this. I never go to the city and go, hey, do you guys have some comics here? I'd like to add them to my show. I just don't do it. I travel with the comedians that are coming to your city.
That's what I said, SSB. I was like, I need to I just went on Google. I looked up Katt Williams, Ali Siddiq, Shreveport. Couldn't find nothing but stories about this beef.
One unit and one team when we come. That is to let you understand that no comic was fin to come join us that evening because there isn't space for it. I still have to do an hour at the end of this. There's a limited amount of time. So we could just start there. Second of all, I don't care where you're from, what the venue is, how cool you are with the people that work there. Katt Williams show means Katt Williams show. That means don't nothing move but the money. There ain't no loud talking and voice raising and how dare you? How dare you? Let me look on the advertisements and see, do I see your name or face, sir, whoever you may be?
Uh-oh.
Where would you even get the entitlement to be having this question? This is like me insisting that the Lakers put me on as a starter. And I won't take no for an answer. It's ridiculous. You don't even play in our league. And that's before I knew who you were. Now that I know who you are, I'm just ashamed because you took something personal that couldn't have been personal. I didn't meet you. That's how it would have gone if I wasn't there, because the truth is I wasn't there. All of this happened before I got there.
What happened with the check when the security guy gave him
when
the check?
when I asked what the person had said, I said, well, I don't understand. I don't understand why he's so angry. What did he say to you? He said, I'm supposed to be on this show. I said, well, maybe he was expecting to get some sort of a payment. And now he thinks he doesn't get to get paid because we already have a tour. I wouldn't want that. Pay him for performing. So he got the check of the performer. This is what he's angry about. Imagine the audacity. Your story is that I'm kicking you the fuck out. Get out and lock arms and don't let him in. And paying you? Make it make sense, King.
I just want to live my life.
I'm confused because, like, literally he said, I never met the man. I don't know who he is. He wasn't on the bill. He wasn't there that night. And then he ends it by saying, what does he say? He said, was Katt Williams on there 6 months ago? Oh, no. It's Ali Siddiq. Okay, so Ali Siddiq went on Carmelo Anthony and said it. And then, okay, so I guess he said the same thing. Hold on. I'm not going to play the full thing here because we have other stuff.
There's no way to resolve.
But I do want to play this before we play a little bit of this before we play Katt Williams.
I know you and Cass had problems in the past, man. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And of course, we all like to get to a chime in. Better way, better day.
There's no way to resolve anything. Any problem I've ever had with anybody. This is my golden rule. If it's a public beef, you have to see the resolution.
Public.
I don't want nobody ever think that it's just one way.
Yeah.
So for somebody that I had admiration for to come out and say something that's an untruth, and then you privately try to apologize. And I said, cool, I will come to the meeting. But just to not just be just crazy with it, I said this to the person who called me about the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yo, if they coming for peace, cool. But if they not, you know me and I am who I am.
Uh-oh.
Bro, I'm cool until I'm not. And if anybody knows anything about me, it ain't a group of people, it ain't a man, it ain't nobody that I've ever feared in my life, even if you think that you got the upper hand.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's what he said about that, about the apology.
A few months ago, Ali Siddiq came on the show, and he had some things to say about you not making public or private amends, and says something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing here because it's been a minute, but he says something along the lines of like the apology's got to be just as loud as the disrespect. You know what I mean? Whichever way it was. I don't know.
I agree with that philosophy wholehearted, but let's be very clear. I just said I didn't remember the guy. So I said I don't know the guy, right? Mm-hmm. And then other comedians showed me pictures where I'm around the guy. He's in the same room as me.
Mm-hmm. All right, bro. See, look. See what I'm talking about, bro? Like, this is what I'm talking about, dog.
Maybe I'm too old. I feel like if I don't have your number and you don't have my number, we never exchanged numbers, then nigga, I don't know you. I feel like if we've never communicated or like, okay, so, but if I said that I didn't know you and clearly I've been around you, that was the only apology I could have made to the guy. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't have any amends that I was trying to make. So when it was suggested that he meet up with me, he was confused at why I was not going to be having no apologetic energy. Like, no, nigga, I'm not apologizing. On site is on site. Like I'm the person being crossed in this situation, not vice versa. I'm not sure what he said, but whatever he said, it didn't involve me doing something to him or doing something against him or stepping outside of code. I'm not sure what he said the issue actually was, but I'm saying at the end of the day, you can't afford to be a comedian and be black and be short and be righteous and have me as a op, my nigga. It's counterproductive to your very existence. Not just because I'm him, but because you're not.
Uh-oh.
And right. So how I'm saying,
I mean, at least great work,
I have nothing disrespectful to say about him because I don't know him like that. Like, as a comedian, I think he does a great job. He's a storyteller. Generally, you got to be 80 years old to be a storyteller. Like, nobody does that even brand of comedy. Like, I don't see that's why it can't. Most of these can never be legitimate beefs because I'm not an insecure person. Like, I'm a quick to say I'm sorry type nigga. Like, I would never let a nigga fuck around and damage both of our energies.
Right,
like, are you kidding? Like, but by the same token, if you don't really like me because you can't be me, then my job is to make it better and better looking for you, boy. Because you probably at the club and I'm probably at the arena at your hometown. I'm probably selling 21,000 tickets where you live. You probably at the club still. You probably is barking outside of your lane. Nobody in the WNBA get to talk sideways to Melo. Okay. So why I'm gonna let these little rails and niggas in a whole different, these CBA niggas, why I'm gonna let them talk about what I got going on over here in the real league? It's weird.
That's a fact. But weird. You, like, to me, like, beef. I don't think it's a beef.
There is none.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I remember that SSB. That was his tweet.
It's all peace,
beef
guy.
is beef. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we gotta stop. That's why I said that to somebody on social media the other day. Stop using these type of words, man. The terminology.
That's different. Beef is something,
but I'm saying it's legitimate though.
It's very legitimate.
Because look. What I'm saying is just everybody that I talked about on Shannon.
But Buddy really beef. No, it's beef. It's beef in this case. It's beef. It ain't no like how how people say you misusing the word crash out, the term crash. It's real beef. Because what Buddy just say? He said you know how I get. I don't.
Ain't nobody got
it. If you know Ali Siddiq, his most famous stand up. What is he talking about? When he sold drugs and he allegedly shot someone. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he really get down like that. And he said, like, you know how I get down? I really get down like that. That's real beef. That's not no, oh, man, they just got a disagreement. No, that's beef.
What I was saying about Siddiq is, no, do you know how many times me and Siddiq been in the same room? Like, no, I had to give him a pass. So you did. Think how you would feel if you gave somebody a pass for something and then 10 years after the pass, they act like the offense didn't even happen. Like, are you kidding? Of course I would have punched you in your bread basket. Are you kidding me? Like, there's no way. Like, so yeah, it do be legitimate beef, because if I say I don't like you, I mean that in the literal and the physical.
But to me, that
I have that
true
issue,
indeed.
bro.
True indeed. But the Ali shit, right? Only because he sat here. You know what I mean? This ain't no gossip shit. This is real shit. It's like he sat here.
Yeah.
And as I'm observing what he's saying, it's like, and then hearing your side of it, it's a disconnect. And the way that we receiving this information, you have one standpoint of, I didn't know who that was in the room. Yeah, he was in the room, but I didn't, right? Okay. And so then on his perspective, it's,
but let me help you.
Who I was.
Let me help you.
He's friend on
Let me reveal. Let me reveal.
I like to get this to the bottom of
most of his story is fictitious, right? So he has worked a deal with the venue where the people that put on the shows, he got in the contract that he gonna open all the shows, that the comedy shows that come to this particular venue.
SSB. Is this a different story than the one that we just seen from a year ago in the interview where he explaining the story?
So generally, most artists aren't even the people that see their contracts. They don't know about none of that, right? Yeah. But because I run all my stuff, I see all of the contracts, right? But when I bring my tour, I have 5 or 6 people opening for me, and they already come with us. Ali was not one of those people. He was not traveling with us. He was not on the tour. There are no posters and billboards that Ali was on tour with Katt. That does not exist. It was just for this venue, because this is the venue he had pull at, right? So he thinks, as a guy opening the show, that he can come out to Every Day I'm Hustling by Rick Ross and come do his set to start the show, when me, the headliner, is coming out to the same thing. I'm not even at the venue. It's my people telling this nigga, you cannot come out to that, nigga. What is Katt show? And he's telling the comedians, y'all ain't even gonna be able to follow me. I come to do 30 minutes and I'm gonna kill. And like, by the time I get to the conversation, like, either Ali can perform or I can. You see how that's a no-brainer? Right. But because somebody did book him, maybe this is a money situation. So somebody get this man a check so that he didn't lose any money for coming out. I wouldn't want it to be that type of situation. So no matter how you break this is never me versus him. Like, he was never like, that's why he can't tell you about any conversation he was having with me and how that's just not possible. Like, I already had the people on the tour that was on the tour already. This is just a stop in Houston.
You moving how you moving, and it's coming from 2 different directions.
But
SSB.
He's aware of both of those directions. He's not unaware.
Is it salvageable?
He told you himself there's nothing to salvage.
Copy.
I'm saying it would be different if we had a relationship and it went awry. We never had a relationship. He was on an opposition team. He's the enforcer for Bill Bellamy and D-Lay and Billy Sorrells. So because that's his squad, come on, man. Because that's his squad, I'm over here, you dig?
Right.
And everybody understands that.
So you drew the line.
Hey, I didn't draw anything.
Okay.
But I will acknowledge the line at all times.
Indeed.
Like, there's no cards to play on me. There's no way for you to be in open competition with me and wanting to do harm to me.
I think the show was in Shreveport, that the beef started. The show was in Shreveport. He's from Houston. According to Ali, he said this happened right when Katt first got hot, like right after he did A Pimp Named Slipback in the movie, right? And what was that, next Friday, whatever, when Katt first shot up. And, he first started coming out to Every Day I'm Hustle, his most famous. And now that's his walkout song. It's like synonymous with Katt. But Ali said the DJ just played a random song. So then they started raising, you know what I'm saying, HE double hockey sticks, because Ali Siddiq came out to Every Day I'm Hustling. He said, oh, what, like, Katt, because of Katt Williams, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Katt, he not even that big of a deal. Like, he don't own the song. It's Rick Ross' song. It's not Katt Williams' song. So that's where it started. Then Katt Williams came in, and then, you know, he's pretty much just like, bro, you can't perform because you're not on the bill. He said, what you mean? Like, I've been contracted to open up at this venue. And then so that's what it pretty much is. And then Katt is like, well, I have a whole lineup of comedians that I got with me on the road. They need to open, and I need to do my hour because we're on a schedule, and that's how we get our money, and that's how we tour, and then we go to the next city. So that's where all of this happened. And, you know, and how it happened. Ali's just from Houston. That's why they say from Houston.
You know how important I am to this thing. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you're supposed to be that as well is unforgivable. Like, it's almost sacrilege.
I mean, I get it. I totally get it.
All right, I'm going to stop here to go to Ali's responses, because this episode with Mello just came out 2 days ago. So Ali Siddiq just started responding right now on Facebook. Okay, is there multiple posts? I think it's just one. Okay, so we're just gonna look at this.
I can't wait.
Hold on, let's on.
I can't wait.
All right, Facebook, what we doing? Uh-oh. I mean to get in the put out everybody business out here. Hold on. I'm gonna turn off the volume. I'll do it right here.
I can't wait. I was gonna put a whole video together and all the rest of that. I don't want to. It's gonna be too much effort, and then it's not gonna be long enough for what I want. Katt Williams has 3 days to respond to this challenge on anybody's platform. Club Shay Shay, Rogan, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, Vlad, No Jumper, Eggs, and I forget the rest of their name, but on their platform, on 5150, on whoever platform, I am issuing a $250,000. $250,000. We can go up if you want to, but I'm just starting at $250,000. Lie detector test. Lie detector test by somebody administrated from a reputable lie detector place. I am issuing a lie detector challenge. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing else unless you're willing to accept the $250,000 lie detector test. The person who is lying has to give the other person $250,000 or more. It doesn't matter to me. And it's going to be 15 questions. A 15-question lie detector test. That's the challenge. No other words to be said. If you are not willing to accept a lie detector challenge, you talk about racing, race your ass to this lie detector test for $250,000 or more. That's what's happening. We're going to see who are the 5 people that I walked in the green. Who are the 5 people that I walked in the green room and said this to?
His phone.
When was this show? $250,000. That's the challenge. Lie detector test. We're about to see who's lying, period. I'm over it. We ain't doing this no more. Did I try to come out to any
man, bring your questions. I'm going to bring mine. 15 questions, family. $250,000.
I ain't gonna lie.
Or more. Lie detector test. You have for the week, by Monday, you should be responding, or before that. I'm not even mad at you, but I'm over the nonsense. $250,000. If you talk about racing, race to the lie detector test. Now everybody go and report this. $250,000 or more for a lie detector test on anybody's platform for the answers to be revealed.
Thanks.
72 hours. Race your ass to that lie detector test. Good morning, brothers. This is the thing. $250,000 or more lie detector test administrated by somebody credible. And I already know what you're going to say. Oh, he's a criminal. He knows how to get around a lie detector. Nah, nigga. Nope. I ain't never took one ever in my life. I confess to everything that I've ever done. Let's just put it all on the table. Good Morning America, The Breakfast Club, whatever.
It's hilarious.
Maury, I don't care what it's on. Whose ever reputation will be destroyed after this lie detector test. Good morning. 72 hours. I got my 15 questions. Good morning.
Just hit this in the video. All right. Well, I'm gonna just take this.
I can't wait.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
All right. So, yeah. First of all, Tess has beat. It's crazy. 2 times in a week we talking about lie detector tests. First with the Gary Coleman ex-wife, and now this is crazy. Waterfall H2O said this crap is stupid. Ali Siddiq is trying to get famous. Here's my thing. Ali Siddiq is probably like the hottest kind of new black comedian in the past, I would say, year or so. You see his last stand-up 2 months ago, almost 6.5 million views. His Breakfast Club interview from a year ago has over 1 million views. His Shay Shay interview has over 2 million views. 3 years ago, The Domino Effect, this stand-up, I think this is the one that my mom loves, that she introduced me to. It was one of these, either this one or this one. 16 million views, over 8 million views here. I say this to say, like, he's like the new big thing in comedy. So I don't know necessarily if it's just you know what I'm saying, he's trying to get on, because he's kind of like already him as like in terms of new comedians. Obviously, Katt Williams is on a different level. He's a movie superstar, mega superstar. He's got the most viewed interview in YouTube history and YouTube's 20-year history. Katt Williams is different. Different level. However, I don't think Ali Siddiq, like, he's not necessarily a local comedian trying to get on. So that's the thing here. I understand Ali Siddiq fighting for this because, okay, you can say, all right, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you know, you're fighting something that isn't worth the battle. And I hear what people are saying there. They're like, it's ego. From his standpoint, you're looking at it like, bro is trying to little bro me. Even if, you know what I'm saying, he apologized and everything like that, and the apology was good enough for the public, the apology is like, well, I guess, you know, whoever you are, I know who you are now. Apparently we were in the same room, and if you were on the thing, if you were on the bill and you were supposed to perform that night and you didn't mean to play Every Day I'm Hustling when you came out, then so be it. I apologize. I got you your little check. You got your little check and we moved on. And now it's been 10 years. Get over it. Like, that's the type of like apology publicly. That's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a man, Ali Siddiq can't just take that publicly. Like, you talking about me in that way publicly. And then I'm just like, yeah, I accept it. We're moving on to the next thing. Like, nah, Ali Siddiq has to, you can't talk about me like that. You have to respect me as a man. You have to respect my name. You have to respect me as a man, just period, bro. Because my name is on, like SSB said, my name is on the line. Their brands are at stake. My name is on the line here. You're talking to me like I'm some little kid, like I'm some local comedian that's all these levels beneath you. And truth be told, I'm popping like popcorn right now. Boom. And yes, you are a legend and you're on a different level. You're a superstar, and I'm just a budding star in the comedy space, in the comedic space. But you can't just talk to me like any type of way and kind of just dismiss me when I was clearly upset about the way that you and your people handled this situation in Shreveport, Louisiana years ago. So that's how I feel about the situation. I understand Ali Siddiq standing up for his name, because on one end, it looks like, bro, it's not even that deep. Like, Katt has admitted, you know, his truth and everything like that, of saying, hey, I was unaware of who you were at first. I became aware of who you are. I watched your stuff. You're a storyteller. We've been in multiple rooms before, apparently. And but regardless, whatever the case was, when I saw you were upset about me coming to the club and saying it's either me or him, and they went with me, and he got upset that he had to get kicked out of the club after that, I still made sure you got paid for that night so you didn't come out for no reason. Because one of the things I thought maybe you were, you know what I'm saying? So Katt said it like that or whatever. He apologized, but the way he said it, he apologized. It just, you made it seem like bro was your little bro. And as a grown man, you can't take nobody little bro on you, especially if you're trying to earn your respect. Like, Ali Siddiq is climbing up still in the comedic world. He's trying to earn his respect. And I don't want to be known as Katt Williams' little bro, especially if I don't like Katt Williams. Like, we not doing that. You ain't Jay-Z. I ain't Kanye West. This ain't The Rock. I ain't signed to Rockefeller. You ain't Dame Dash. I'm Ali Siddiq. I ain't got nothing to do with Katt Williams. I feel it. I feel it. You disrespected like this. You embarrassed me in this club in Shreveport, Louisiana. Nah, bro, I ain't rocking with that. I feel Ali Siddiq. Katt Williams, I feel like, told his truth eventually. What we're seeing right now is his truth. I think there was a chance that he wasn't aware of who Ali Siddiq was at the time. And, you know, he didn't know that he was going to be on the bill. And he probably didn't take a liking, just like how Katt's team didn't take a liking of playing Every Day I'm Hustling before he took the stage and stuff like that. I understand Katt's side of the thing. Of like, who is this man? Why is he on my bill? Why we did the whole tour in every city? We did the specific lineup at specific times, and now this kid want to mess up. And he said, "Oh, I'm gonna be better than all y'all," and he playing my music. Who is this dude? I get Katt Williams' side. However, at the same time, I get Ali's side of saying, you ain't about to talk about me like this publicly. I ain't going. You're not about to little bro me. I'll say it like that because I know my mama watching. And yeah. So there's that. The next thing and the last thing was the thing we were talking about yesterday, SSB, but I didn't read it because it was a long story and I didn't want to be yawning and everything like that. It's a bit earlier tonight, so we are going to try to tackle this story, the real story of Thomas Crooks, the two-sided story of Thomas Crooks. Thomas Crooks was the man who was on that little thing during the MAGA rally and just hit the ear of President Trump. If it was just right here, 2 centimeters up, we would have had a different president. So yeah, this from CBS News. See your double life of Thomas Crooks. Trump's would be a months-long investigation by CBS News punctures Thomas Crooks' secrecy to reveal the broadest portrait yet to the lonesome young student who tried to and delete President Trump. This is by Graham Cates, Cara Tabanchik. Oh, I'm so sorry, Cara. Matt Clark, Laura Gaylor, Scott McFarlane. Scott McFarlane. Is he related to Seth? And Nicole Schnanga. This is published a couple days ago or yesterday. All right, here we go. Long story, long reading. Y'all be prepared for it. Here we go. Before Thanksgiving 2023. Link to the story will be in the description if you want to read it yourself. Before Thanksgiving 2023, Thomas Crooks' online life was fairly routine for a 20-year-old. He scrolled through social media, listened to music on Spotify, visit news sites, and peruse. I don't even know this. Peruse Reddit. Okay. But a plan for mass violence was brewing. And in order to succeed, Crooks had to compartmentalize his life. It was something he had already been comfortable with doing in childhood, which felt like he let a few people get close. Friends knew little about his home and tight-knit family. They rarely invited over to Crooks' home to play or, as he got older, hang out. In late 2023, he pivoted to keeping a new set of secrets, building homemade improvised explosive devices in his bedroom and planning ending while pursuing a career in engineering. Wow. On July 13, 2024, Crooks would take an aim at a rally at President Trump in a small town in Butler, Pennsylvania, firing from the rooftop 8. That came. He shot 8? You missed 8 times? Hey, rest in peace, Young Dolph. How the F you made a whole 100 shots? 8 shots that came within inches of the dramatically altering course of American history. He left no manifesto, no explanation for why he tried to do it. The former and future president. In the years since, the investigators of those who knew him have been trying to piece together what led to him to climb the roof in Butler with frustratingly few answers. This CBS News investigation provides the most comprehensive portrait yet published on the insular young student. It draws from the interviews with more than 24 friends, professors, law enforcement officials, and others, as well as open records requests to half a dozen agencies and reviewed thousands of documents. The young man who was unalived in the attempt crafted a furtive double life in the months leading up to the attack, unbeknownst to the people closest to him. Okay. Right. The nice boy who kept to himself. Crooks was born in 2003 and lived his entire life in a suburban home purchased by his parents before he and his older sisters came along, tucked away in a leafy street in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. Growing up, Crooks loved Legos, his cat, building, and creating model planes and watching the Pittsburgh Steelers and cooking with his family. His parents were both social workers and took pride in their work and family. In 2008, his father, Matthew, filed out an online registry for his family coat of arms, writing that he hoped to pass down to his young children a sense of family unity and instill in them virtues of generosity, sincerity, hope, and joy in service to the country. Crooks and his mother, who is visually impaired, often prepared dinner together. During holidays, everyone helped out. For Thanksgiving, me and Dad will cook turkeys and mashed potatoes together. At Christmas, me and Mom will bake dozens of cookies together. And on New Year's Eve, my mom and I will bake a pork and a sakura together. Crooks said in a video he recorded in a college class. In kindergarten, Crooks met Trishan Radcliffe. They lunch together frequently throughout most of elementary, middle school, and high school. Dang, this was a deep dive. And kept in touch after they both enrolled at the same college. I've known Tom like all my life, Radcliffe said. He was cool, he was kind of just Tom to me. There were many things about Crooks that stayed familiar and consistent throughout the years. His tight jeans, his tidy shirts, his bedecked smooth face beneath a neatly parted hair. But there was plenty, Radcliffe said, that they never knew about his friend, even though he saw him nearly every other day. Every day. Here we go. He was never invited to the Crooks home, and Crooks rarely talked about his family. Radcliffe said Crooks was a nice boy who kept to himself. Crooks' neighbors and his family didn't interact much with the folks on the block, and the children rarely had visitors. He was cool, he was kind of just Tom to me. Dang, here he is, Thomas Crooks. Radcliffe wasn't bothered by it. To him, Crooks seemed like he had more on his mind. He always seemed like he was focused on his work more, like he came off smart, Radcliffe said. Crooks' grades and test score supported that. Crooks scored a 1530, dang, on his SAT exam, putting him, how do you do something so stupid and you were so smart? Putting him in 99%, unless it was a, mission, putting him to the 99th% nationally. He enrolled in community college of Allegheny County in 2022, and he told an advisor he was saving money before pursuing a 4-year engineering program. As the tight quarters and crowded classrooms of high school gave way to the sprawl and the remote coursework of a commuter college, Crooks' social connections largely evaporated, allowing his secret life to go largely unnoticed. A star student walking two paths. A diligent college student, Crooks routinely contacted professors to make sure his grades remained high. His teachers were impressed with his work, often lauding his effort and dedication. One emailed to compliment Crooks for getting such an early start on a project. Another wrote him a thank you note to his contributions to class all semester. Crooks stood out among his peers, according to former engineering professor Patricia Thompson. I thought he was a star student. He had his head on straight, and he was on the path to success, Thompson said. She recalled showing other professors in her department one of Crooks' projects, which exceeded her expectations. He designed a 3D printed unique chessboard engineered for players with visual impairments. Oh, man. For many others contacted by CBS News, Crooks did not leave a lasting impression. Several former students said that they did not realize that he had been in the same class. Even some who had emailed and worked on projects with Crooks said they couldn't recall even interacting with him. For one assignment, Crooks was called upon to record a speech in front of the students of 5 adults. He emailed his professor to be excused from the requirement. Dang. Hold on, let me see if I can play this.
This is my audience for the persuasion speech. Do you hate having to? I want to tell you a little bit about myself and my academic goals, my passion for building things, my love of cooking with my family. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about the 2 main types of 3D printers you'll find on the market today. What kind of material? Are you in the market for a new car? Do you want something stylish, comfortable, and outfitted with the latest tech? The tire repair kit should have a couple of tools in it.
Seems like a warm young man. I currently only live with my mom and my dad. There are no other adults in my house, and I have one sister who lives nearby that could potentially come over to be a part of this audience, Crooks wrote. I do not have access to any other adults. That is a strange thing to write. In the summer of 2023, Crooks brought from his dad for $500 and signed up for a membership at a local ooting range. He became a regular at the Clareton Sportsman Club, about 9 miles from his home, signing in to use the rifle range more than 40 times, in the last 11 months of his life. Records show. Oh my goodness, the signs were there. Around that time, records obtained by CBS News show that he started using encryption services to mask his internet use, mixing those with the typical visits to sites like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. His habits started to rapidly shift that fall to his professors. He still appeared focused on getting straight A's and preparing to apply to engineering programs at the University of Pittsburgh and Robert Morris University, but his online activity suggests that his attention was elsewhere. He began to more frequently use encrypted email service called MailFence and a virtual private network called Movad, both of which shield his online life from anyone who might pry. An analysis from the CBS News of Crooks' internet routine shows that he developed an increasing interest in news, explosives and ammo, and secrecy. The records include a nearly year of Crooks' activity on his college's wireless network, internet network. They show hundreds of visits to websites ranging from his academic email account, discussion boards to his bank, news sites, gaming platforms, social media, weapon blogs, and still friend sites. Logs of Crooks' on campus internet activity, which CBS News obtained through the public records request, indicate that in the last months of his life, he became increasingly rigid about secrecy, shrouding his activities through encrypted services. 2 particular days, December 6, 2023 and January 24, 2024 stand out. On December 6, 2023, Crooks checked various news sites and the White House website's archives from Trump's first administration, followed by visits to firearm websites the following month. On January 24th, Crooks showed single largest number of internet requests in its logs at 1,364. Gosh, he started to consistently use VPN after that day. For the thing that stands out to me is that these people can find out all of this stuff. Like my entire life is just people want to. It's crazy. During the 2023 fall semester, also Crooks used school Wi-Fi on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Most of those days, the logs showed that he checked his email, visited some gaming sites, Reddit, and other social media sites, and did his schoolwork. That's crazy. But not all of the days during that period were same. Sometimes Crooks shopped and researched ammunition, weapons, and accessories. After Thanksgiving break, Crooks visited more news sites in just 8 days in the log than showed than the previous 3 months. In January 2024 is the day that the single largest numbers of internet requests in the logs at 1,364. Crooks also began consistently hiding his internet traffic by directing it through Movad VPN service. After January 24, 2024, there are 25 days of activities, but nearly all of them had just few requests, all of them Movad. Whatever he was viewing those days is not in the logs. This is crazy, bro. There were 4 days where Crooks did not use a VPN for dozens or even hundreds of requests. On those days, the logs show some of his traffic. One of the most notable is February 26, 2024. The last entry in the logs is a single request of Movad VPN on April 29, 2024, nearly 3 months before Crooks attempted on the president's life. On some days, he left little trace of his activity, choosing instead to turn on Movad. Virtual private networks, known as VPNs, route a user's web traffic through encrypted tunnels, hiding their activity from prying eyes, such as the college web trafficking security software. While Crooks was using Movad, his browsing history was effectively sealed off. Movad CEO Jan Johnson told CBS News that the VPN service used by Crooks was designed to, quote unquote, provide anonymity, censorship, circumvention, and surveillance protection. This sadly also means that if somebody abuses the service for nefarious purposes, we cannot block that individual user and unfortunately can't provide any additional information about them, Johnson said. In December 2023, a month before Crooks' final semester began, his life began to split into two. He was focused on college applications and at the same time was fixated on mass violence. One day, he emailed himself to review his personal statement for his application. On another, he emailed customer service to complain that the explosive fuel he ordered had not been shipped. Investigators later conclude that he would have been able to engineer bombs in his bedroom without his parents knowing. That's crazy. Around this time, some in Crooks' life did notice erratic behavior. Crooks' father told investigators that in retrospect, he spotted signs that his son's decline in mental health, according to the excerpts in the Pennsylvania State Police report. Remember, if you do something crazy and it's mental health. Those excerpts were first made by public in December by House of Representatives Task Force on an attempted Crooks' father explained that within the last year, he observed several instances of his son dancing in his bedroom throughout the night. A Pennsylvania investigator wrote he would occasionally see Crooks talking to himself with his hands moving, which expressed an uncommon and had become more prevalent after he finished his last semester. Radcliffe noticed similar changes when he first bumped into Crooks on campus. He will always move his legs around a lot, and he will kind of talk pretty fast, Radcliffe recalled. Crooks graduated from community college in May 2024. On June 14th, less than a month before the attempt, he sent one last email from his community college account. It was to registrar. Crooks wanted to know when he'd receive his diploma, searching for the opening he needed. In the months before July 13th, Crooks turned his attention to the presidential campaign, researching candidates online more than 60 times, including searches on July 5th for the DNC convention. When is the RNC in 2024? According to the FBI, he visited the Butler Farm Show grounds in person on July 7th and searched for the Butler Farm Show photos. According to investigators, he also researched AGR International, a company with buildings adjacent to the grounds. The day before the attack, July 12th, Crooks made one last visit to the rifle range. On the morning of the attack, Crooks drove to Butler Farm Show grounds and stayed a little more than an hour before driving home. Investigators say that at about 1:30 p.m. It's crazy that they can find all of this out in retrospect, but like it's like, bro, like how did he even get that close and was up there that long without anybody recognizing this? Investigators said that about 1:30 p.m. Crooks got a rifle from the house. It was a gun that he had purchased from his dad the year before. Crooks' father told investigators he believed his son was going to the range. In addition to the rifle, Crooks had put a drone and 2 homemade bombs in his trunk, along with the remote transmitters capable of denotating them more than 1,000 feet away. He left a partially assembled explosive device in this room. Crooks went to the store near his home and bought ammunition, according to the investigators, and then returned to the Butler Farm showgrounds. As Trump supporters lined up to enter the highly publicized rally at the height of the presidential campaign, Crooks took the drone out from his car and flew it over the rally site for nearly 12 minutes, beginning at 3:51 p.m., and potentially using the drone cameras. So kids so smart. Is like an evil genius, potentially using the drone's cameras to view the podium where Mr. Trump will soon speak. 3 local police officers first noticed Crooks around 5 p.m. One officer, a sniper, said Crooks stood out. Crooks was alone, the officers noted, and he wasn't paying attention to the campaign festivities. He was walking around the grassy area between the AGR and the secondary fence line, kept looking at a building. One pointed up to what had been the suspicion of what he was looking at directly at the window he was positioned at. The sniper told investigators the AGR building was approximately 150 yards from where Mr. Trump was speaking. Local officers began keeping tabs on Crooks. One even saw a rangefinder and snap photos of him. At 5:39 p.m., one officer suggested that notifying the Secret Service about the suspicious young man. A Pennsylvania State Police Sergeant later told investigators that he altered Secret Service personnel to the suspicious person. Congressional Task Force investigators said that there was no indication that the message reached Secret Service personnel on the stage or in charge of security. Just after 6 p.m., an officer saw Crooks near a picnic table, and he watched him grab a backpack before he took off running. One local officer told investigators officers began to leave their posts to look out for Crooks, who had seemingly disappeared between 2 buildings. Butler County District Attorney Richard Goldinger told and said in an interview with CBS News that poor planning and communication gave Crooks the opportunity he had been seeking. Local police weren't apprised of the Secret Service security plan until the afternoon of the outing. Golden said it was never specified to the local law enforcement that they were assigned to secure the area where Crooks was able to climb into the building. Secret Service Deputy Director Matt Quinn said the agency tasked with protecting Mr. Trump bears responsibility for what happened next. I would ask Americans to understand that it was an organizational failure within the Secret Service, and we were laser focused on making sure it never happens again. Too late. At 6:02 p.m., Mr. Trump took stage. Crooks ascended to the rooftop. 3 minutes later, panicked bystanders began calling the police. So the bystanders saw it. And he was just up there for 10 minutes because it's nearly 10 minutes later at 6:11 p.m., moments before Crooks opened fire. A Butler detective decided to pursue Crooks on the roof. It took 10 minutes. He later described to the congressional investigators the looks on Crooks' face as the detective began to pull himself up. I see Crooks facing downrange towards the stage, but his eyes are back up at me as I'm coming up. And I would say like his facial expression was surprised. His eyes were very big. Like, what are you doing up here? A local detective said, I'm going to stop you from shooting the president. Crooks turned his gun towards the detective, who fell backwards and immediately radioed that the suspect was armed. Oh, wow. The message never made it to security detail for Trump. What in the world? A few seconds later, Crooks fired a shot. No, that's unacceptable, bro. Unacceptable. I'm not even going to lie to you. Killing firefighter Corey Corporator, injuring Mr. Trump and 2 others. The Secret Service sniper returned fire, hitting Crooks in his face and unaliving him. The shooter is down. He's down hard. A local police officer radio, Mr. Trump was swarmed by Secret Service agents trying to remove him from the stage. Wait, Mr. Trump said before he stood, raised his fist and yelled to the crowd, fight, fight, fight. Unanswered questions remain. Law enforcement soon descended on Bethel Park, tracing Crooks via the he purchased from the father. By 10:45 p.m., covert surveillance of Crooks' home was in place. By just 11 minutes later, his father called 911. He said he was worried because his son had not returned home after saying much earlier in the day. He said he was going to the local club. When agents knocked on his door, Mr. Crooks asked, "Is it true?" He said someone from ESPN, CNN had just called and said his son hit Trump. Investigators questioned him and Crooks' mother. They fanned out across the Bethel Park, Butler, and Pittsburgh, interviewing Radcliffe and Thompson, seemingly anyone who had ever interacted with Crooks. They checked the local library and learned that Crooks didn't have a library card. A grand jury subpoenaed his online activity and coursework from college. Same material reviewed later by CBS News. Investigators visit the gun club and the store where Crooks had bought the ammo and the one where he purchased the latter the next day. They scoured the videos from the before, during, and after the campaign rally, as well as local and federal law enforcement. It seems like they did a whole lot of like, we got our grounds covered afterwards after they got embarrassed. Details emerged about Crooks' planning, but about nearly a year later, many unanswered questions about his motivation remain. Crooks left unknown. Written explanation, his political leanings remain unclear. Was Butler rally just a convenient option for a young man planning mass violence, or was he committed to hitting Trump? Did he plan for the bombs? Did he understand that he was on a USI mission? Already isolated before the shooting, Crooks' parents are now rarely seen outside during sunlight hours. A neighbor said that there were only a few times. Okay, so now you got to keep a track of them. Don't fall for the same thing twice. A neighbor said there are only a few clues to suggest the family even still lives at the home. Another neighbor described the Crooks family's presence on the street as ghost-like, quote unquote. Crooks' parents did not respond to interview requests. Their attorney declined to speak on their behalf. A postal employee said the mailbox is always empty when he delivers it. On each mail day, he and neighbors speculated that the couple leaves their home under the cover of darkness. What in the world? Their house, which is now has multiple security cameras, is blurred on Google Maps, an option homeowners concerned about their privacy can request through the search giant. That's crazy. Mary Crooks submitted her resignation to her jobs she's held for nearly 3 decades in December. The resignation letter, first reported by the New York Times, alludes to the outing is a reason for her departure. Certain circumstances have left me with no other option than to vacate the position that I've been proud to hold for the past 27 years, she wrote. She and her husband let their social work licenses expire in February. Why would they? So how do they pay bills? Why would this kid who had this whole future, laid out for him, a positive future, why would he do something like this? Because he was crazy. Others in Crooks' life are still haunted by the connection to him. Thompson complied Crooks' discussion responses and projects from their class into one document. She studied it, looking for answers. Why would this kid who had this whole future, laid out for him, a positive future, why would he do something like this, she asked. Radcliffe recalls seeing Crooks' image from Butler's blanketed across from the airwaves from the day of the outing. The kept, scrawny kid replaced by a man whose wimpsy hair ran to his shoulders, a faint goatee over the short shirt of a gun enthusiast YouTube channel. I'm still in disbelief of this whole thing, to be honest, because it really doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense, Radcliffe said. Oh, that's it. Dang, I finished it. That was a good story. I ain't gonna lie. Let me see. Jeez, I don't believe this part. No way they didn't know that it was going down. 100%, bro. Like, after reading that, I'm more so like looking at Secret Service, federal, and local law enforcement. That's who I'm looking at. I'm like, there's no way you let this kid do this. So you just let the kid run away and then you lose him. And then you like, okay, I guess we're just going to continue to rally. Like, nah, bro, that ain't happening. And this, the security guard or the whoever it was that climbed up there and they seen bro, and bro pointed a gun to him and he fell back and he fell down. And then it 10 minutes later, that's when I don't believe that either, bro. I don't believe none of that stuff, bro. I don't believe that. But it wasn't 10 minutes. They said it was 10 minutes from when spectators seen him. They said, what's that boy doing up there? What's that boy doing up there? 10 minutes later, buddy come up on the ladder. Hey, boy, what you doing? He said, huh? And he said, Boy, why is you that scared? If you in Secret Service, you in law enforcement. If you that scared, get the at the club. That's what they say. That's what they say. I had to. I'm watching my language. If you that scared, get the heck out the club, bro. Why is you in law enforcement? Why is you in Secret Service? You climb and a teenager or a young boy, however old he was, 20-something, right? And he doing this and he do this, and that make you fall back. Man, boy, stop. You supposed to be the top of the top. Man, local law enforcement won't hesitate to. If they see you reaching for a cell phone, you mean to tell me this kid who's sitting up on a roof at a presidential event from afar where multiple spectators said that kid looks suspicious. Y'all say y'all seen the kid run with his book bag, grab his book bag and run, and y'all was chasing him, and then y'all lost him between two buildings. It's just like, either y'all some mall cop level dudes that's working Secret Service and working with President Trump and so, or you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Sort of kid could have hit him, but he purposely missed it, in my opinion. So you think he was a plant because I think when it first happened and we learned what happened, I think my thoughts was like, but he was a sacrifice though. So did they get a kid that was willing to sacrifice himself for the sake of the campaign? Because I'm like, okay, when it happened, I'm like, all right, bro. Like he did this or whatever to get people to really vote for him and to get under his name. But a kid really gonna sacrifice his whole life? Like a young kid? That's kind of crazy. Usually guys who connect the first time, they get another in or they lock in on the target. They said he went 8 times, bro. 8 times, dog. 8 times, and he only got the ear. It's crazy. And he been spending nothing but time at the range and at the club. And you see the shirt got the little American Eagle on and everything like that. I don't know, bro. But that junk is crazy. Like I said, after reading that whole thing, it really just showed how much the officers and Secret Service was slacking, bro. They were slacking. Like, that's crazy. Someone said if they pay a couple million, people will do this dirty work. So you're saying, okay, for $2 million, we'll delete your son. But he don't want to be here anyway. He been wanting to off himself. So we gonna help you out, and it's gonna help us win the election. I don't know, bro. Because then the office, also the fireman passed away. They say the fireman passed away from this boy, from his 8 hits. What's saying? And Nate, we at the end of the live, bro. We talking about the Thomas Crooks, the young man who Trump in the ear at the rally. I read the whole deep dive on him at CBS News. It was a nice little background of who the kid was and stuff like that. We seen a video of the kid talking. But all of it just showed me how the heck did local law enforcement, federal law enforcement, and Secret Service and Trump security team, how the heck all them jokers let the boy, because they said officers seen him grab his book bag, run, and then they pursued him, but they lost him in between 2 buildings. He climbs on top of the building. As the rally starts, a bunch of Trump supporters point up and say it's someone at the top of the building. They say 10 minutes after that, someone finally goes up there and the dude climbs up at the top of the building, and then the boy looks scared, but the boy pointed a gun to him, and they say that made the man fall down. I said, bro, if you that scared when you confronted by someone on the roof with a rifle at a presidential rally, you don't need to be no Secret Service. You need to be mall cop. You need to be Paul Blart Mall cop. The kitchen is too hot. SSB said it's just too many coincidences in his opinion. Yeah, man. So that we just talking about the kind of our reaction to it. Because my initial thing was that's fake. That's fake. Because remember when they said it was the glass of the teleprompter that hit him in the ear? It wasn't even no real stuff. I said, okay. Yeah, they set this up so he could win the election. But I don't know, because the kid is gone. So it's like, did he just really just willingly give up his life like that? Like, he spent all this time in engineering and weapons and stuff like that, and now he just, I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that. What I believe is, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just looking at law enforcement sketchy, bro. Because it's like, did y'all want something to happen to Trump? That's honestly, that's what it comes down. That's the unspoken part in me of what I'm thinking. Did y'all want something to happen to Trump? Because that's way too lax, bro. The kid was on the rooftop, unsupervised with a weapon at a presidential event. Not just any presidential event. President Trump, like the most controversial, hated, talked about president ever because he's unconventional. Like, never seen a politician on that level like Trump. I don't know, bro. If I'm Trump, I'm looking at them like, y'all cross me? Y'all think y'all could get away with this? King Kong ain't got, like, I ain't gonna lie, that if I'm Trump, that's the speech I'm giving to the local law enforcement and the federal law enforcement and all them. SSB say, hey, how come the other people who got hurt, we never heard from them again? No testimony is nothing. Shoot, White House probably wouldn't let them speak. Probably can't speak. My thing with the family, with the parents, okay, the parents is moving incognito right now. How is you paying your bills? You ain't working. You not leaving the house. How are you paying your bills? You just had a life's worth of money stacked up in suburbia, middle class. I don't believe in that. Way too many questions and pointing fingers. Yeah, bro. Like, they did this whole search on him. They know everything this man done Googled. They know every time he used the little VPN where you can't even tell what he Googled and what he searched, how many times he searched stuff in the day. They know when he talked to his friends and said this to his friends, and he said who he lives with, and he doesn't interact with other humans. They know everything about this boy's life, but they can't figure out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. I don't know. But that's it. That's the end of the live. We just still kind of vibing off of that, to be honest. All the work has been done. We just reacting. We just talking now. But yeah, that was the live for today. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. H2O Waterfall, SSB, and Nate at the end there. I appreciate y'all very, very much. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road of 10K subs. MLB draft starts tomorrow. Paige versus Caitlin Clark is tomorrow. Y'all tune in. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great Sunday. Let's make it a great Sunday, everybody. Make sure y'all smile, get some sun, get some ice cream, non-dairy if that's what you need, all the things like that. And have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. Have a good night. Have a good day. If nobody else told you today, I care for you. I will be back. Same place. I don't know time. I have no clue. But at some point tomorrow, I'm going to be right back here live because I'm live each and every single day on this channel. Until next time, you all, please take care of your...
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.